Okay. It's been a while since I've sat down in front of my camera. Fun fact, I didn't know where my battery charger was for my camera. Thankfully, one of the batteries had full life, so it's a good day. I don't think I own a tripod anymore. So there's that, and you're currently sitting on top of a large multivitamin bottle. So anyways, I'm back. Who would have ever thought it? Like, who even am I? It's been a very long time. Probably over 2 years, I would say, since I made my last video, since I've done anything on social media in regards to my channel. I'm doing this midday, like middle of my workday, because I just felt called to do it. And I've been feeling that way a lot recently. If you're following my channel and you're watching this, then you know that I have been the horsey girl growing up on YouTube, had my horse channel, and I guess still technically do. And that was like my life. Oh God, I started YouTube 9 years ago. Like, that's insane. That's when YouTube was in its little early baby stage and people still did collabs and tags and yeah. Anyways, I am now 25. So 9 years ago, I was like 15, 16 years old. So I was a kid, I was in high school, and honestly, so much has changed since then. Like, this has been just such a crazy time. And to think that I like still want to be doing this after so long is very crazy to me. Because I got Ralph when I was still in high school. I started the channel when I was still in high school. I was still so young, like I was a baby. I had no idea what my life would have in store or anything like that. So obviously I went to post-secondary, I went to college for interior design, and that was kind of when everything in my life was ramping up. A lot of personal changes were going on. I had the YouTube channel was picking up. I feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to not only do well in school, but I also had a full-time serving job. So I was doing that, I was in school, I was trying to ride, like, honestly, 7 days a week. I think most weeks I rode 6 or 7 times. I also had to be like shuffled back and forth between my parents' houses, so then I decided to move out on my own. And so like all things combined meant that I was like spreading myself so thin. So that's like one of the main reasons why I came to the conclusion of selling Ralph. So I think just like after not having him, it freed up a lot of my time to focus on school and to be a college kid and to like work and do all the other things like with friends. And as bittersweet as it was, I think that it was obviously the necessary move because I honestly don't even know if I covered this in the video about selling him. Oh my gosh, like you guys don't even know, it's been so long. But yeah, so I obviously sold him, and the girl that he is with right now, she absolutely adores him. She took her prom photos with him. Like, he's just living his best horse life, and she adores him. So that's like the happiest, most beautiful thing I could have asked for. So then fast forward to 2020. It's my last year of school. I am like nearing completion. I see the end, and the pandemic hits. So I was like, oh damn, this sucks. So I decided, I had the great idea of packing up my car and bringing everything that I could possibly fit in my car across the country to BC. So I did that in 2020, my landlords, right in the middle of the pandemic, were like, we're gonna sell the house that you're renting, so you need to leave, we're evicting you. And my options were basically to find a new living situation during the pandemic where I could potentially be living with strangers, and I just like really didn't want to do that, and it was really scary. And my other option was to go and move to Toronto and find an interior design job there because I got my interior design degree. So there was that, but then also I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, being a horse person growing up, but I'm not a city girl. I really don't care to be like in a major city, which is funny because I now live in Vancouver. I had only ever been to BC once, to Vancouver in the airport, stopping over for a like layover flight when I was 8 years old. So that was the one and only time I'd ever been to the West Coast. So this was a very big spur of the moment decision for me. I made the decision, and within 2 weeks I had told all of my friends. I had tried to hang out with everyone that I wanted to see, and I packed up my car, I sold a bunch of stuff, I put some stuff in storage, and I was like, okay, I'm doing the thing. I'm moving across the country. So yeah, that was crazy. I still think back on that, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like, bizarre. So anyways, did that, moved across the country. I ended up driving out here with one of my friends, and then she flew home, and then I was by myself. So I had to find a job, make friends. I knew absolutely no one, and I just decided that I would find some roommates out here, try to be friends, and live my life. So fast forward to today, I am happily living in Vancouver with my boyfriend who I met here. I have had 7 jobs since moving here, a few in the restaurant industry just to supplement some income, and then 4 interior design jobs that I was bopping around to see what I wanted to do, to feel out the industry out here, to get my footing. Life has changed a lot, and I think that yeah, it's just crazy. It's literally insane to think about how like YouTube was the center of my life, like literally the be all end all, and so were horses. And I was just so obsessed with it. Like I loved it. Every waking moment I thought about it. Okay, I'm trying to film a YouTube video. I have ridden since I was 8 religiously. I think that getting a horse changed my life. I think that YouTube changed my life. And of course, lots of things happen in between. Life happens. You move across the country, you know. But obviously, coming to a new place, living in a new city, I think that a lot of my time spent here was finding friends, like meeting my partner, finding jobs, getting settled, like just trying to establish my life out here. And I think that a big part of why I'm reconnecting, or why I want to reconnect with you guys, and why I want to restart and rekindle the passion I had for YouTube and for riding now, is because I'm not in such a, like, you know, the is it Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the bottom tier is like home and like your basic needs met, which I funnel in as like a job to meet your needs, like home, find an apartment that you like, find a house that you like community partnership, like find the friends that you love, find the partner that you want to be with, you know. So I think that I spent a lot of time trying to like meet my needs out here, and now that I feel like I've established myself and I'm a little bit more comfy, I almost wanted to like reconnect with the life I had back in Ontario. But now I think that I've settled more, I'm reflecting more, and I'm realizing that I've missed out on a lot of things in my life that I would have liked to prioritize. I think I stopped doing YouTube because I felt a little lost as soon as I sold Ralph, because I knew the audience wanted to see horse-related content. And I realized that I am a people pleaser for sure. And part of me was like guilty and feeling like I would disappoint with the videos I put out. I didn't really think about how I could like tailor the content still towards horses without having a horse. Like that would have been very easy for me to do in hindsight. One of the things that propelled me to restart is the fact that I was having this moment where I felt like I had just thrown my life away. Like I focused so much on coming out here and setting myself up and working and grinding and hustling, and I didn't really stop to be like, oh, like what actually were your hobbies, and like what did you like doing, and why don't you take a minute to relax, and you know? So I got really sad about it, and I was like, I miss it a lot. I miss that was literally my everyday, and now it's something that I haven't touched in like over 2 years. And just realizing how disconnected I was from like that side of myself was a little bit like it uprooted me a little bit. And I feel like I look at my life from more of like a third person view, and I was like, okay, well, if I want to do that, I can do it. Like, what's stopping me other than myself? So I had that whole moment, and then I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And then I love synchronicities. I love the universe when it's pushing you towards what you need to be doing. So the other day, me and my boyfriend went to go sign up for gym memberships at the gym up the road from me. Right when we were gonna leave, we were doing like the last step, and the guy that was cashing us out was like literally out of the blue was like, hey, I used to watch your videos and I really liked them. So I was a little confused. I was like, oh, like you watch my YouTube videos? He's like, yeah. I watched them back in Iran when I was riding, and I really liked them. And I literally, kid you not, that comment made my day, probably made my week, not only because it validated the fact that I loved doing YouTube, and the fact that like, what are the chances that some random human at a gym while I'm signing up for a membership is just gonna like tell me that? Like, I needed to hear that so bad, and it really made me happy, not only like to just hear that, but the fact that like my videos reached people all across the world. It like warms my heart so much. So yeah, it was lovely. It was just like the extra little push I needed to be like, you should do it. You really liked it. It made you so happy. So yeah, I am gonna get back into it. I should probably say I'm avidly looking for a place to ride right now. I did find a place to ride when I first got here, and then it was quite expensive, and I also have to drive an hour, like if it's like traffic, like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes each way. So I am going to be riding there for a bit until I figure out if that's what I want to do, or if I want to try to find a barn closer to where I'm living. But riding here is such a different world. Like, I don't know if any of you viewers are from BC or Vancouver, but all the barns in Vancouver are like so expensive. One day I'll get another horse and it'll be great. I just wanted to pop on here to announce this, that I am back, and I would love some feedback. I would love YouTube video ideas. I mean, I know that I can do horse-related content without a horse. I realize that, and I will definitely try to do that. I will try to document the lessons that I will be taking when I go. I will also just have like some lifestyle stuff, you know? If you guys want to know what's going on about my life in Vancouver, if you want to like, yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know. I literally do this for you. I do it for me, but I do also do it for you. Also, if you're interested in any of my interior design stuff that I do, again, let me know if you want any content relating related to that. But yeah, weirdly enough, this feels very familiar. Like, even though it's been 2 years, I feel like it just feels good, you know? Oh, also, I am trying to start a book club podcast with one of my best girlfriends, and we basically have been like really being obsessed with reading again. Like, we were the kids that like made our parents spend hundreds of dollars at this Scholastic book fair, and we just are obsessed with like the old school classic Chapters, like the Chapters bookstores, and we've been really crushing books this year. So we wanted to do a book club podcast where we like read and review books, and I think it's gonna be really fun. So I have a lot on the go right now, a lot on the plate. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the fact that I still have a following of some sort after all these years. It makes me feel like I have someone to be accountable for. Like, it makes me feel like I still have the family, the YouTube family. I want to be part of that again. I want to keep this short and sweet and just give you a wee update. Yeah, just the one thing that was missing was horses. So I'm adding it back in, and I want to share that with you and share my life again, because not only is this an amazing way to connect with all of you and as a creative outlet, but like, I'm genuinely sad that I don't have like video memories of the last 2 years. Like, so many times I look back through old videos, I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe I was doing that at that time of my life. And it's just so sad that I didn't continue my like video diary, essentially, of my life. So that's like another reason why I want to do this, is just to have that documented forever, so I can be like, hey, that's what I was doing this week in my life. I'm just happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hoping to put out a video next week, and the week after, and the week after. But also, I'm gonna try my best to not make this like to put too much pressure on myself and to make it too like regimented, you know? I just want it to be a casual, fun thing I do. So yeah, I'm so happy to be doing this. This feels good. This feels right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will see you next week, and thank you for stopping by to listen to my words. Goodbye.